Is it live? I want to
Okay. Is
chat in
it
the
playing yet?
comments. I'm sad that I can't comment. I can't comment. I wanted to comment. Maybe I'll do what I did on.
Why isn't it playing?
It says you're on the show. Everyone can see and hear you. No.
You don't see it either? It's showing, like over here, it's telling me that we're live, but in the app, it's not live.
Let me go to YouTube.
Oh, there we go.
Are we live?
Okay. So we are live.
I'm not
Hello,
good at
hello.
this.
I'm
I
so
can't
sorry, you
help.
guys.
I can't help. Oh, they can see
We
us.
were having technical difficulties, but it's okay.
It's
Yes,
okay.
we're live now.
They said we can see you. I
Um,
can't chat.
so hello, welcome back, you guys. Oh, I just threw a whole entire ice on the ground.
Can we all just shout out to Delilah looking fabulous? Look at the beat, the face beat she's got going, guys. Like she looks so good.
Aw, thank you. They, they were here because we did it together. I decided, oh, let's just go live together and then we'll get dressed. And I just dropped a piece of ice on the ground and I don't know
She
where it
looks
landed.
so pretty. I
Thank
just came
you.
from the gym, guys. I stink and am
That's
slightly sweaty.
that's okay. You're still gorgeous. You're still fine as wine in the summertime. No
I
worries.
want to join the chat, but StreamYard will not let me. Hi, sunshine. Oh, hey, Dee Dee. Hey, girl. Hey.
So
Sandra
how are you
G's
guys
in the
doing today?
house. Oh, this is fun. I should do this. I should
Just
go
remember,
live.
they do have a tiny delay. So when if you ask them something and you're waiting for a response, it is a little bit delayed.
Oh,
I don't know why, but that's just the way the live works.
okay. Okay. Y'all
But
have
hello
grace on
everyone.
me.
Can you see the live the comments and stuff on your screen?
I can see it, but okay, when we were setting up,
Hmm.
I tried to sign in so that I can join the chat and StreamYard wanted my credit card. And I was like, absolutely not. No, you can't have that. So, no. So,
StreamYard is just acting up for some reason. So
they can't
very
have my
sorry,
credit
guys.
card.
But that's okay because we are back and we are here now.
Yes.
So, you guys, I am less than a month away from being an entire year out from having my hysterectomy. Um, what do they call it? An oophorectomy? Some weird, ridiculous name where
Yeah.
they remove one or both of your ovaries. So I did have to get one of my ovaries removed on top of my fallopian tubes, my uterus, and cervix. Um, you, I know you are very, very, very short from your surgery. How long ago was your surgery again? 2 months
My
ago?
surgery was on August 20th. So I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
And I had still have both my ovaries because they didn't find any irregular cells there.
Awesome.
And I had everything else taken out: cervix, uterus, fallopian tubes, all cleaned out.
Well, the good thing is that, okay, I don't know if Sweet Tea has shared this yet, so I'm going to let her share this if she wants to. And if she doesn't want to, no
Okay.
pressure.
Okay.
But you guys all know that for me, it was incredibly difficult to go through this because all I could think about was how I wanted to be a mother, and that would be closing the doors. Even though I'm already 44 now, but I was 42 and 43 at that time, and it was very hard for me because I don't have kids of my own, and it was heartbreaking to me, and it's still to this day very difficult for me to deal with. But Sweet Tea does have kids. Sweet
I
Tea
do.
didn't plan to have any more children,
No.
but knowing that the option was being taken away from you, how did that make you feel?
Yeah.
Oh no, Sweet Tea froze.
The
Is it
I'll
just
be
me?
Can you hear
Sweet
me?
tea, you're frozen.
I
Oh,
am?
you're back.
This is so stressful.
Okay. Don't worry about it. You're back.
Okay, I'm here. No, I was just saying that I think that we don't talk about that part enough. Um, Delilah, to your point, I know are many women who haven't had children, and like you assume that that's going to be difficult. I have two kids, 16 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
I've been done, for a long time. But I have to say, like, I scheduled some therapy appointments because after the surgery, I fell into like this depression, and again, like you guys, we're a small community. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm not posting regularly, like I'm probably not okay, you know. And so I did. I got really depressed, and just that we're women, and like the word woman means like you have a womb.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I was wombless, and that like really affected my mental health. Even though I'm like done having kids, and like that's not a factor. I think that like any woman who's considering the surgery should like consider having some sort of mental health help with it, because it was hard. It was hard for me.
I completely agree. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry. I didn't remember that I would have to be looking over here to see you. So I'm moving my camera. And in order to
Okay.
do that, I have to remove the stick. So,
Oh,
because then it just looks like I'm like totally ignoring you. And I'm not. It's just my camera's over here and you're over here. So sorry, but I've gotten that corrected. Um, I know that it's just not something that's really talked about much. It's not
no, not
something
at
that's,
all.
like, even considered, I think, for a lot of women who already have children, and it's I don't know, it's just really sad. I remember you telling me, how that was making you feel, and it was like, I never imagined that it would do that to somebody who already has no, that's froze my keyboard, who already had children. I never thought about it, and I'm really sorry that that never crossed my mind, and I just feel so terrible for you that you had to go through that, but I'm glad that you are now finding help and you're not
Yeah.
embarrassed or ashamed to find that because a lot of people are. Um, so Dee Dee says, "Hi, Dee Dee. Sweetie, how long did it take you to totally heal?"
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm still healing. It was in August 20th. The standard operating procedure is 6 weeks of
Mm,
like physical healing. That physical healing went pretty well. I had and again, we didn't clarify this, but there are a few different ways to have surgery where they
mhm.
like open you up on your bikini line. I had the robotic surgery, so I just had like, incision points.
Yeah, the
That didn't
laparoscopic.
heal laparoscopic. Thank you, laparoscopic. And so I feel like the physical healing was about six. It was 6 weeks, because
Okay.
there's this thing that happens, and Delilah, you could speak to this. You're just going through your day, and then your battery just crashes. You have no energy. Like
That
you
still
just like
happens.
lay me down somewhere.
Mhm.
Just like fatigue, and like imagine GLP-1 fatigue, but like your entire body just boom crash. So like you think you're good, and then you're just walking through the mall one day and you're like, nope, I'm not okay. So but 6 weeks was a physical healing, but even now I find that that crash will happen
Mhm.
if I'm doing too much. So, and it's been months. So what was
Well,
your
it hasn't been
experience?
that many months. It's barely been what, 2.5 months?
2.5 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they really
So
say it's like 3 to 6.
yeah, well, for the physical part, yeah, but then there's the mental healing that also has to happen and the hormonal healing that has to happen. And I will tell you,
Yeah.
okay, Nia, I do see that Nia, and I'm so sorry to hear that. She said that she also had a total hysterectomy, or was yours a total hysterectomy, in 2022 and has no children. And I hope that that was the decision that you wanted to make for your life and it wasn't taken away from you because of anything that was going on. But did you also go through that? Because I think that there's probably some people who are content, don't want children, that done decision, but then suddenly their choice gets taken away from them. And now they're like, do I really not want kids? And that has to be really hard. But for me, I'm almost a year out and I still get sharp. Like, did this ever happen to you where you get like these lightning effects in your incision areas, in your pelvic region?
Yeah.
And like, they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
It's crazy because you're like, nothing is there.
Mm-hmm.
What's in pain? So I feel, are they phantom pains or are they real pains? But
it's real pain. It's your nerves. Your nerves are reconnecting because they had to cut open your body, right? Even though they're not giant incisions. And they had to disconnect these body parts that you're born with and are created to work together with other body parts. And suddenly they have to be disconnected. It's not like, and I know that a lot of you probably thought the way that I thought. I just imagined, I never really thought about it, but when I did think about it, I imagined that my uterus was just floating there. Just all by itself. Nothing touched it. Like it wasn't connected to nowhere. Like it was just like this slide that reached into your vagina, like a phantom slide, like this much space. It just came out. I don't know. I never thought about it until I had to think about it.
Yeah.
And then once I had to think about it, I was like, well, it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So you still get, okay, so here's a question. Did you get those before you got your hysterectomy? Were you ever having those before?
The pains?
Yeah, that like lightning, shocking pain.
Okay. So let's keep it real. You know me, I keep it real. I was walking around 6 months pregnant, according to my surgeon. She said that I had a cantaloupe-sized fibroid sitting on top of my uterus, growing into it, and then my entire uterus was full of fibroids. And so I want to say that a lot of us women are walking around in pain, but like don't realize it. Like I don't know if you can relate to this, but like, yes, I had pain. But I was in constant discomfort and I didn't even realize it because
not until it's gone, right? Now that it's gone.
Now that it's gone,
you're like, wait.
I'm like, wait, I was not okay, you know? So forget like a phantom pain.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but I'm laughing at the experience because I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't realize. Okay. So for me, because for Sweet Tea and I, we both had fibroids, which is the reason why we had to have our uteruses removed. So I know that there are going to be different reasons why people have hysterectomies, but that is the reason why her and I both had to get it done. And for me, I didn't realize that the back pain, the incontinence.
Say it. Let's take a pause.
Yeah. I didn't know that was part of the fibroids being so heavy in my uterus. My uterus altogether, without the fibroid that they found on the outside, because I guess they disconnected it to bring it out, was 444 grams. An average uterus is somewhere around 6 grams.
6 grams, Delilah.
So yeah, mine was 444 grams. And mine was so big, they could not vaginally remove it. They had to cut it in half and pull out the pieces, which is why they actually cut it into 3 parts because they cut off the fibroid that was on the top and then they pulled that out. And then they pulled out the 2 separate pieces of my uterus because it couldn't all come out together.
Good goodness.
And
good God.
We never learn. We never are told. We never understood that your uterus can be so heavy with fibroids that it impedes your bladder. Your uterus sits on top of your bladder. And under normal circumstances, it does not have any pressure that it puts onto your bladder until you become pregnant, right? So
Yeah.
when you're pregnant, the further along you get, the more incontinence issues you have because your uterus is getting heavier and heavier and sitting on top of your bladder. Nobody ever told me. I thought, because all of my aunts, you guys know I come from an incredibly large family, and my mom is one of 9 sisters, and every single one of them, except for one that we know of, have all had a hysterectomy because of fibroids.
Wow.
Every single one. And every single one also had to have bladder lifts. But all my aunts also have children. So because they have had to get a bladder lift, I thought I had to too. So I told my surgeon when we were going through everything, I said, hey, everybody in my family had to get bladder lifts as well. So while you're there, let's get that done, because that's where they all got theirs done. And she told me, I don't think you're going to need it. I said, what do you mean? I literally, if I cough, if I sneeze, if I laugh too hard, sometimes even if I get up too slow, I'm going to pee on myself, period. I'm going to pee on myself. And it's been like that since I was young, my whole life that I can remember. I was like, no, there's something wrong with my bladder. She was like, Delilah, you have a very high set cervix and it is incredibly strong right now. I don't think you're going to have a problem. And I didn't believe her. I was like, sure, I'll come back to you when I'm still peeing myself. Turns out she was absolutely right. Because I no longer have that issue.
Your bladder was carrying all of that weight.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize, like, it's,
Nobody ever said anything.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Like I knew that my mother had a hysterectomy because I was there when all of it happened. I knew she had the same sort of. Were you also? I don't know if you remember, but I was bleeding so much all the time. I was like a rabbit through my house. You would find blood clots throughout my house, and I didn't even know, because that's how bad I was bleeding. I was bleeding so much, I had to get 3 different three different blood transfusions, and all 3 times they used 2 blood bags, all 3 times. And then I had to get 3 different iron infusions where they did double infusions then too. Mine was so horrible. Was yours anywhere near that?
So I didn't bleed constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Lucky.
Yeah. But I did just have like super irregular periods. And then when I was on my periods, I would hemorrhage. And so I was actually taking a medication. Like if my period got too bad, I would take this drug that basically clots your blood
Mm-hmm.
so that it, lets up. So that for the past year, I was taking that medication just to kind of keep my periods from getting too heavy. So yeah, but I wasn't bleeding constantly. Yeah.
You're lucky.
I know. I know there's a lot to be grateful for, but again, like however we're suffering as women, it's just
It's
like
still
I think the
suffering.
point of this is we start to normalize that our lives are just hard like this, and it's like, well, no, we're on this GLP-1 journey, we're getting cute and like taking care of the weight, like shouldn't we be like looking at our health and like, okay, is this back pain really a thing I should have to deal with, or the incontinence or the hormonal issues, it's like,
Yeah.
that's where I got to, like, okay, I want to feel better all the way, and what
I
does that
feel
look
like
like?
also part of that is that nobody tells us it's not normal. We're so
I
used to it
know.
because we've gone through it our whole life. We don't know a different way of that happening, right? So we think it's normal. We think a lot of women deal with the same, and they do, and a lot of women do deal with the same thing, but it's not normal. My OB told me, Delilah, don't you understand that what you're going through is not normal? Nobody should be going through this. And if
Yeah.
this is what you're dealing with, we need to do something. Nobody in my entire life had ever told me that it's not normal. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Well, this is why I wanted to be here to celebrate your 1 year.
Oh, thank you.
Because you were one of the first people on YouTube I saw talking about this. Like when I started joining YouTube, when I started getting in the community was in 2024 summer.
Hmm.
And I think that you were about to have your surgery, right? And you were starting to talk about fibroids, and then I watched you go through your hysterectomy journey like online. You're so transparent. And it really caused me to question a lot of things about my own health. So, like, we celebrate you for your transparency, Delilah, because, I think you have to see other women talk about it to even know it's a thing,
Exactly.
you
For
know?
me, I said, I it's so common in my family, you would think I would know more, and I don't know more about this.
They know because they don't talk about it.
Exactly. You know what I found out? I didn't know before this all started happening that all of my aunts had hysterectomies. I knew a couple did, but I didn't know all of them did. I also didn't know that I have a huge family of cousins. Almost all of them have also had hysterectomies for the same reason. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I posted about it one day, and I was just basically pouring my heart out saying, what I was going through. And suddenly, like, I don't even know how many of my cousins, like at least 10 of them, started saying, I've had mine too for the same reason. I was like, what? What do you mean? How did I not know that? Why isn't anybody talking about this?
So
So I
crazy.
said, you know what? I refuse to go through this and not share my story, because if even one person can hear what I've gone through and say, you know what? Maybe I need to address this too.
Yeah.
Maybe this is an option for me too, then I was going to do that. And I'm
So
so
glad
glad
you
that
did
well, thank you. And I'm glad you heard it, because what good it have done if you didn't hear it?
it.
But I'm so glad that you took the step to talk to your doctor and say, what can we do? So, see,
Oh,
and
we
there
got
are
a lot of
people.
comments, don't we? We got comments.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Like, look, Jen says that I have fibroids, hadn't had the surgery, been on birth control forever, and team not interested in kids. So you can have fibroids and not need a hysterectomy. We're not trying to say that every single person will need it. I'm only trying to say, if it is that bad, address your options, because
Yeah.
you have options. Your only option isn't to just suffer.
Yeah. I just had a friend who had the ablation done.
Hmm.
She just had some cysts and some fibroids removed because she does want to have kids. Um, and she just can't stop raving about, because I think that it has changed. Like the procedures have changed
Hmm.
to where they're not as invasive. And so, like Jen, like even wanting to just not have the fibroids, there's so many great options now.
Yeah, you can get what's known as a myomectomy. A myomectomy is when they go in surgically and they cut out the fibroids. There are different options, but there are also three different types of fibroids. One is when it grows on the outside of your uterus, one is when it grows intermuscularly, and then the other is the normal fibroids, is the ones that grow inside of your uterus. I had all three, and it sounds like you did too.
I had two of the three, I think,
Okay.
growing from the outside and then inside, and they were inside.
Oh, okay, so you didn't have the intermuscular.
I didn't.
So for those of us that do have intermuscular, they can cut them out and then reconnect the uterine lining in order to save your uterus if sterilization is not something that you can deal with, right? But you might have what they told me was, you have so many, by the time we are done pulling out all of the ones from your muscle of your uterus, there's nothing left. There
Mm.
will be it'll literally be just a string left. You have nothing that we can save. And I said, okay. So there are options. Just like she said, her friend had an ablation. That's what I had done in September, and it didn't work for me. It does work for some people, but it didn't work for me. So for me, I had to go back, and 2 months later, or 3 months later, because I got it done in September 3rd, I had that done. And then December 4th was my hysterectomy. So 3 months later. So Dee Dee says that fibroids are so prevalent, not preventable. They're not preventable. Please don't misunderstand me. You can't make them go away on your own. Are so prevalent, especially with African American women. I don't know the statistics on what race may be affected more. What I do know is that when it comes to menopause, Hispanic and African American, I don't know if it's African American, but Black people, I don't know if it's strictly African. I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know. All I know is that Hispanics and Black women are going to, one, statistically suffer harder, have more symptoms than our Caucasian counterparts. And we are also going to be ignored more. Because one of the number one things that people often will diagnose people going through menopause, well, women, only women go through menopause. When you're going through menopause, the number one thing that you are going to be diagnosed with is depression or anxiety. On average, it takes women 6 different visits to be properly diagnosed with menopause or perimenopause. Instead, they just blame it on depression or anxiety. And so many of us are just drugged up on all these things, and that's not even the issue. Might be part of the issue. We're probably depressed now because nobody will listen to us.
That's depressing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very depressing.
Dee Dee, I think you're right, though. I donated my tissues from the surgery to a study that they were having on African American women specifically to find out why the percentages are so high. So,
wow.
Go medicine. I hope they figure it out.
Well, good for you. I'm glad that that was an option for you. I wonder if there's any way for you to like one day be part of the results, right?
I
Like
would
not
love to know,
necessarily, yeah, you should reach out and see if that's like an option where you could get like updates. Like, hey, your uterus has done this. Your tissue has done that. Like, you know, I don't really know, but
yeah.
So Sunshine says that I know so many people who suffer with fibroids. It's terrible. It's terrible. And what's funny is I didn't know. I didn't know that there were people out there. I didn't even know there were a thing. I had no idea until I had no choice but to know. I had about 4 large fibroids. Oh, JC says that I had about 4 large fibroids. And apparently my appendix was inflamed. Oh, God. I am so sorry to hear that. So the doctor snipped that. That sounds funny, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but it just sounds funny. But you did keep your ovaries and your fallopian tubes. Okay. Did they tell you what the reason for keeping your fallopian tubes was? Because I know they keep ovaries as often as they can in order to keep you having the hormonal shifts from happening, right? Because your ovaries are what send the hormones to your brain. It is not the uterus, not the fallopian tubes, not the cervix, which I didn't know.
I have thoughts on that, though.
What are your thoughts?
Post-surgery on these ovaries.
Well, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think that your ovaries are used to producing a certain amount of hormones based on your medical condition. So, like, for example, I was large and 5 months pregnant. And so my ovaries were producing a lot of estrogen. But after the surgery, they kind of stopped. You know, like
they overcorrected.
My hormones have been all over the place post-surgery. And you know, I know that, you know, Dee Dee has had panels on this. Every woman's experience is different, but I've been begging for some form of HRT, like BHRT, and like right now I'm on estradiol, which is, you know, in your vaginal, but like it's just been terrible. The hot flashes, the night sweats, like all the menopausal symptoms just ramped up after the surgery.
That's terrible.
And I have my ovaries, but they're not working properly in my
because okay. So the one thing that I learned about women is that our ovaries are the most filled with as many eggs as we're ever going to get at 5 months in utero. So it's even before we're born, because all of our eggs are created alongside us. So technically, you as an egg were inside of your grandma's uterus, because that egg was created when your mother was created inside of your grandma. Think about it.
Oh, wow. That's bananas.
Yeah. So technically, I was inside of my grandma before I was even born, before my mama was even born. Isn't
Wow.
that like weird to think about? But you are going to have about 4 million eggs at that time. And then, or is it 10 million eggs? Now I can't remember. But it's a lot of eggs. And every time, I didn't know this, but every time you have your period, you release about 10,000 eggs. I didn't know it was that many. And only one, if you're lucky, is going to be fertilized, or sometimes 2 or 10, depending on the lady, because there's ladies out there with lots of kids in one time. But I wonder what the reason is for keeping the fallopian tubes. For me, instantly, the same night that I came home from the hospital, because mine was outpatient. Was yours outpatient too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so mine was outpatient. Mine was also done with the Da Vinci robot laparoscopically. And I started the worst night sweats on the planet. I woke up in a puddle of water. I didn't know what it was. Did I pee on myself? What happened? It was me sweating. Yeah, it was terrible. That happened every single night from that moment on until I got on to estradiol. And then I had to move from the first dose, which I think is 1 milligrams. No, half a milligram. And then I went on to 1 milligram.
I'm on
And it
half.
stopped at 2 milligrams. Okay, so you're on half right now. When do you go back to see, or 3 months, huh?
Yeah, the 21st of November. I'm due
Okay.
to talk about it again. And I'm just
Yeah,
gonna cry. Bloody. I'm gonna
I don't
just
blame you. I
beg
don't
for
blame you.
more things,
I don't blame you. Are you oral or are you vaginal cream?
vaginal cream.
Okay.
And the thing is that I don't think that I want to do an oral estrogen. Like I've just done enough research to where I'm like, okay, yeah, not really for me. So I've really sorry, I'm in California. I'm a little woo woo. I have like so like, I'm like
Girl,
on black cohosh and just really like hitting the herbs hard right now. Um, and I'm open to like a cream, like a
uh-huh.
topical cream. I don't think that I want to take oral estrogen. That's just
Well,
where I
first of all, you also have a patch option. Don't forget, there is a
okay,
patch
yes, the
option.
patch. I just
For
don't
me,
want
that wasn't an option because I have a severe sensitivity to adhesives. So if I even have a Band-Aid on for longer than 12 hours, it's going to break me out in hives.
okay.
So I couldn't do that. That wasn't an option for me. And I'll be honest with you, I was still over 300 pounds when I got it done. I had incredible difficulty inserting the vaginal cream because your first 6 weeks, you cannot take oral
Wow.
estradiol because you are at a higher risk of clotting because of the anesthesia and the anti-clotting medication that they give you in order to heal properly, right? So you don't bleed out while they're surgerying you. And because of that, you cannot start it more or before 6 months or 6 weeks. Before your 6 weeks mark, you cannot do oral. You can do a patch or you can do cream. So I had to do the
Okay.
cream
Yeah, no, they haven't even offered me oral. Yeah.
because you haven't gone to the doctor yet. But once you get there, see, I couldn't handle it. And I was sending emails to my doctor. I was like, you need to do something. I need to do something because I cannot take this. This
Yeah.
isn't enough. I need something else.
Yeah.
So they did end up prescribing me the oral. And she told me, I will only give it to you if you promise you will not take it until the 6 week and 1 day mark. Do not take it before that because
Or
if you end up with blood clots, you could die. And I
yeah.
said, I don't want to die, but I don't want to live like this. So, okay, that's what we'll do. And for those of you that don't know, if you have your uterus or your cervix, really, if you have your cervix and you start BHRT or HRT, please ensure that you are not only taking estradiol or an estrogen form of whatever HRT you're taking, but you also need progesterone. You cannot take only estrogen. You need progesterone because it increases your risk of having cervical cancer or uterine cancer, one of them. But if you have no uterus and no cervix, then you can only take estrogen if that's the route you want to go. But do not let your doctor only give you estrogen if you still have your uterus and your cervix. You do not want to increase your
That's a
chances
good
for
call
what?
out. Yeah.
So just in case you didn't know,
That's a good call
and
out.
for me, because I don't have a uterus, I didn't need the progesterone in my thought, right? But did you know that in perimenopause or menopause, it really also increases insomnia? Horribly.
Terribly.
So that's what you're going through right now. Ask your
Yeah,
doctor about progesterone too.
I have
You
really
can
bad insomnia. But the
you
other
can start.
the only other reason that
Uh-huh.
like I'm not taking oral or may not be able to
Mhm.
is that I have high blood pressure, which so that's a comorbidity for heart health,
Mhm.
right? And so they look at that as well because of the blood clotting, the potential blood clotting issues, right? And
Yeah.
so I had to get like an EKG and like a heart health assessment and also another mammogram before that they would move forward with a higher course of BHRT. So that's where I'm at in
Really?
the process. Yeah. Yeah. If you have a history of heart
Uh-huh.
conditions or yeah, they like won't just give it to you. They want
Maybe that's great to know. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
they want to like make sure that that's all good. So that's where I'm at in the process. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
Just adding that as a, cuz we all have these
yeah, I
different
didn't know.
things going on.
I had no idea. And I guess I didn't know because I don't have that history,
Yeah.
but I do know that if you have a history of blood clots, oral estrogen is not the route for you.
Right.
Period. You can look into creams, you can look into patches, but you cannot be on oral.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But Joe, I didn't know that. Joe says that Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to undergo hysterectomy for fibroids, often during peak childbearing years.
It's true.
I didn't know that. That's terrible. Oh, Dee Dee apparently. Oh, Dee Dee. Dee Dee also had a friend who had a grapefruit size
Ooh,
fibroid. I did too. They said I had two of them that were so big
they can get really
that
big.
they were blocking something else. That's how come they didn't know that apparently I had giant cysts on one of my ovaries. And because it was so big, they mistaked it in the ultrasounds
Ultrasound, they
for,
can't see stuff.
they thought it was my ovary because it was so big, but it wasn't. It was a
Wow.
cyst. Yeah, they didn't know. Um, I am so sorry to hear that, Dee Dee. I hope she's okay because that's no fun at
Yeah,
all. Let's
uncomfortable.
see. Apparently, more Black women are offered the less invasive treatment until it's too late, and that's when the hysterectomy is the only option. Well, there really is only so many options, and it does depend on how many fibroids and which ones you have. Because if they're only all internal, that's easy to do an ablation or a DNC to get them out, and hopefully they will not grow back because they can grow back, which is the number one reason why they avoid them in the first place because they tend to grow back. But if you have the ones that are intramuscular, it's a lot more difficult if you have a lot because what's left of
Yeah.
your uterus to connect back together. Um, let's see. So JC says that my OBGYN wanted me off birth control as I got into my 40s due to being a diabetic. Really? I didn't know. I wonder why that is. So when I went for scans, they caught the fibroids and they're, oh, wow.
Wow.
Is it because of type 1 diabetes? I had no idea that that was something that they were concerned with when you have diabetes and on birth control. Huh.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
probably a
well.
hormonal issue.
Yeah. Hormones are so overlooked in women. So Elle says that women are just not taking seriously. And with the different types of women, it gets even worse. No, I agree. I agree. It's terrible. It's terrible how there's no study. I can't remember, Sweet Tea. I think I asked you, did you have PCOS or do you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Good
Mm.
for you. I'm glad to hear that.
I know.
But for those of you who do have PCOS, any type, because there are four real types, right? Like actual types, and then there's one that's like it's not considered a type, but it is semi sort of considered. It's called post pill PCOS. So basically, when you come off of hormonal birth control, a lot of women who were on it for a lot of years, they come off and then they get PCOS symptoms. So, PCOS is a syndrome. So it has a cluster of different symptoms that are involved. And when you come off of a hormonal birth control, it can trigger PCOS-like symptoms. They will eventually go away once your body gets accustomed to making its own hormones again. But that one is so it's not really a type, but it's considered a type, right? Because it's temporary. But the other ones are permanent. So if you have any form of PCOS outside of that one, getting hysterectomy will not automatically cure you, just so you know. You're not just going to wake up tomorrow and you no longer have symptoms. It's not something that you are, it's not something that's going to cure you. There's no cure, unfortunately. Thank you so much, Joe.
He is doing good. I agree, Joe.
What? Miss Diva. We haven't even gotten to it yet. I don't even know where it's at in the comments. But Dee Dee has given us a super chat for, she's saying, the group that suffers most from uterine fibroids is Black African American. I'm so sorry to hear that. I did not know that. Gosh, that hurts my heart. Particularly those between the ages of 30 and 50. Hispanic Latin women are next. All women have an advocate. Oh God, that's terrible. I did not know. Right. I did not know that's, I don't know why I didn't know. I've done so much research on it. It just never showed up in the research I was doing. But I never also looked for like race specific stats. And I'm going to actually go and do that because I want to know. So Sunshine says that's so helpful when women share their health challenges and journeys. I'm perimenopausal and learning so much from strangers versus family members.
Same, Sunshine. Same. Mm-hmm. You know, I was at a family reunion and I announced that I was having surgery. And all of my aunts came and said, oh, yeah, I had mine in 1972. And, oh, I did this. And no one said anything until I said something. Literally.
That is exactly what happened to me. But mine was digitally because I don't live in California with them anymore. And
like I posted the worst family reunion ever.
Yeah. I just posted on Facebook. You know, my heart was breaking. I was like really, really, really heartbroken. And I just put it out there. And and the reason why I did it was because I wanted other people to know if they were also suffering, there is an answer, even if it's not one that you like. There is an answer to stop the suffering.
Yeah, you're right, traveling T.
Oh, what did she say? She said, so many families don't share relevant medical information. It's not taboo or anything to be embarrassed about. I agree 100%. Okay, a lot of you guys know that I am estranged from my father's family, right? I don't have a relationship with them. I don't know much about them. I do have an aunt who I speak to, or can speak to, and I do have my father's phone number, but I don't use it, right? So when I was going through this, my doctor told me I was seeing my OBGYN, and I also got referred to a gynecological oncologist. I did not have cancer, thank you, Jesus. I know it sounds scary to hear that. It was terrifying to hear that.
It is scary.
But what my OBGYN told me was, Delilah, your case is very, very complicated. And I don't want to risk having to go in abdominally because the recovery time is so much longer. Yeah, it is so much more complicated. And I was over 300 pounds. So my BMI was over 60, which made me even more high risk. So she wanted to avoid any additional challenges that could come from it, right? So she sent me to the gynecological oncologist, and she asked me, before we can decide whether or not we're going to leave in your ovaries, which we would love to do because it'll give you hopefully 10 more years of, hormones and you won't go into full menopause, we need to know, do you have a family history of ovarian cancer? And I said, from my mom's side, no. But from my dad's side, I don't know.
Like, and how would you know?
Yeah. Do you have any way to find out? And I said, I can try, but I don't know. So I reached out to my dad. He didn't get back to me right away, but when he did get back to me, he said he would ask. He didn't know. I reached out to a couple of cousins via Instagram and stuff, right? And they also didn't know, but they were like, I'll go ask my mom. I don't know if my mom will know, but I'll ask. Mm-hmm. And then I reached out. The reason I didn't reach out to my aunt right away is because, she's older. She goes to sleep really, really early, and I didn't want to scare her. If I text her in the middle of the night, she's going to be like, are you dead? What happened? And so I waited till the morning and I reached out to her and nobody knew. Everybody was like, we don't know.
That's
And that just opened my eyes and made me say, I refuse to let other women go through this. If I can say something to someone and anybody hears me and changes the way that they pass on their medical information to their family, I will do that. So I started talking about how important it is to discuss these things. Hey, Val.
Hi,
She said
Val.
so much about our gynecological health has been in the dark. Agreed. And it's so frustrating. So many have been suffering in silence. Thank you both for the conversation. Oh, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. I just went to my OBGYN about gray matter. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay. Keeping you in my prayers. I'm gonna add you to my prayer journal. Um, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey, Nicole. After having 2 myomectomy surgeries, the uterine fibroid oh gosh. Oh,
Ooh,
good, it worked. Oh, okay, so yeah,
okay.
she had 2 different myomectomies where they removed 2 different sets of fibroids, right? And then she had the embolization and that worked. Thank God. I'm so happy to hear that because that's terrible.
I'm glad for
It's
you.
terrible to go through. Um, and when I was going through mine, a friend of mine was also going through it, and she had an embolization, and hers worked. And at least for now, in the name of Jesus, it's going to work forever.
Yeah.
She's never going to have to visit that conversation again. But I'm so glad to hear it. Oh, why can't I read this one? What does it
Because
say?
the issue with is it ablation is that they
Uh-huh.
can come back. My doctor listed as an option, but told me we would be back here. That's from JC Calamity Jane.
Yes, that is
Right.
the issue with any removal of fibroids. They can grow back, whether it's an ablation, a DNC, a myomectomy, it does not matter. They can come back. And I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you were able to address your needs when it was happening. Yes, our overall health span is what we should focus on for most that start with taking excess weight off. I agreed.
I gotta say, Dee Dee, I 100% agree with that.
Mhm.
The pre-op to my surgery, they take your vitals. But the biggest thing that I remember that stands out to me was the anesthesiologist comes in
Mhm.
and he's like giving me like this questionnaire of, hey, can you walk up a flight of stairs without getting winded?
Really?
You exercise regularly. Like, and then so I told him, I'm like, hey, I've been on a GLP-1 for a year and a half. I've lost 60 pounds. I work out regularly. Like, I gave him the whole rundown.
Congratulations.
And he was like, I got to tell you, like, that's all going to really help with this surgery. Like, just the
That's
fact
awesome.
that I'm like a healthy person, you know? And then after the surgery, I remember him coming by and he's like, you did great, champ.
Oh, cute.
Because you're on a breathing machine
Yeah.
which is dependent on like your lung health. It's like they're pushing air in and out of your lungs during the surgery.
Mhm.
And yeah, this fitness thing was a big deal at the time.
That is
They were
so
really
awesome.
like, I'm so glad you're gonna, it'll really help with your risk factors
That
during
is so
surgery.
awesome. For me, I remember that I found all this stuff out in the very, very beginning when I was barely began my GLP-1. I was already 120 pounds down, but
Which was great.
I was still 364 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't a normal sized person. And I remember them telling me any and all weight that you can get off before surgery is only going to benefit you. And I
Yes.
said, I'm working on it. I'm working
And you
on it.
did.
But
You got off a lot. So
yeah, but after my surgery, before it, because I didn't have time. Like I did
yeah.
lose 20 pounds from that day to the first surgery. And then I think I lost like another like 30 pounds from that surgery to the next surgery. And I was like, okay, I did as best I could, but
You
I
did
still
great.
couldn't get down that much. Um, I hope you get the information you need, Val. That's so important. Yes, yes. Thank you, Joe, for saying that because it's true. Wait, Wait. They had you keep your fallopian tubes to delay menopause? How?
Maybe ovaries to
The
delay.
ovaries, yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
the
ovaries, yes.
fallopian tubes?
But the fallopian tubes, I'm not sure
I
how.
didn't know the fallopian tubes produced hormones. JC, how long ago was your surgery?
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot
He
has
said both.
changed over the years.
Maybe both does help.
I'm sure there's a reason why we have these other parts.
Yeah, because I can
Dude,
say mine are gone. My fallopian tubes are gone, and I feel like
mine too. And that could
fast
be why we
forwarded.
both went insane.
Yeah,
Who knows?
it immediately took a toll. So
Was yours like truly instant the way mine was? Mine was, I got home like at 7 p.m. I
it
went to
wasn't
bed
instant.
by like 10.
It wasn't instant. It actually took a couple weeks. It was like
See, and mine was instant.
of healing. I started all these hormonal crazy shifts. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
See, and that's the worst part for me is that you're going through all of this physical healing and suddenly throw in the hormonal healing
More
too.
things.
And it was a hot mess. A hot mess. Oh
Yeah.
my God, a hot
I'm
mess express for real, for real.
so glad I wasn't working at the time because I would have killed somebody.
I couldn't. I tried and tried and tried to work. I remember when
Take the
my
time.
doctor had told me, okay, you can go back to work, before my hysterectomy, right? Like this is before. She was like, you can go back to work. And I tried and I kept going back to work for 1 day, 2 days at most. And then I couldn't do it anymore. And then I would have to come back out. I'd have to call my OB. I'm like, I can't do this. She was like, it's okay. She's like, I don't even know how you're functioning. I don't even know how you breathe on your own right now because of how bad my levels were. And it's just like, but okay, so I'm on HRT and progesterone while I'm on this paramount. Praise God. I'm so glad.
Good.
Oh, that's right. So when I went back on my 3 month or 6 month, post-op, I was telling my OB, I can't sleep. I cannot fall asleep. I'm already an insomniac. I've been that way my whole life, but this is worse. I was like a zombie. And she said, okay, that when she was in medical school, she had one of her like mentors or whatever. She was going through menopause at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she told her what she was going through. And she said, she was going to start micronized progesterone because it was going to help her to be able to combat the insomnia. And I said, well, what does that mean? Like for me, who doesn't have a uterus anymore? She said, for somebody like you, you don't need it because it doesn't increase your risk of getting, whatever female cancer, but it can incredibly reduce the insomnia that you're dealing with. Do you want to try it? And I didn't know that. So I said, I'll be honest with you. I've told you this from the beginning. I don't want to take medication, but I'm already on medication. What's one more to add to the list? Let's try it. Because if it's going to help me sleep and I'm less of a biatch, because when you don't sleep, you're mean.
Yeah.
And I was mean. And the doctor told me, Delilah, it's okay. It's part of going through perimenopause. Sometimes your emotions are just going to be out of whack until we can get it a little bit more corrected. And until that happens, you're probably just going to be mean. And David told me that the doctor told him,
Gonna be mean?
Yeah, she's not going to be the nicest person. It's just part of the process. So please understand that she's not doing it on purpose. It's just, yeah. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that. He told me that like 2 weeks later. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. The doctor told me you were going to be mean, so it's okay. I was like, it might be okay to you, but it's not okay to me. He's like, no, it's okay.
You're the sweetest person. I get it. Okay, well, I'm glad you're nice again.
Thanks. Apparently, I wasn't the nicest person. I honestly don't remember a whole lot. I don't remember a whole lot. I remember getting out of the car and it was raining, and I don't remember which one of them helped me walk to the door. I have no clue. I don't remember how I got on the couch. I just remember sitting there almost in tears telling my mom, I'm starving, please feed me. Because by then it had been about,
2
I don't
days.
know, more than, it
Yeah.
had been pushing 3 days that I hadn't eaten or drank anything.
And
David
you're
told me
high, like
yeah,
so high.
David told me in the hospital, I was literally in tears crying, begging him for chapstick. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, your lips were so dry.
Right, because the breathing machine and all the
Mhm.
yeah, I can concur with all of these
I
things.
remember when you reached out to me and asking me and telling me you were going to go through this. And I started going through the list of stuff that I was like,
Which was
sweet
really
honey.
helpful. Delilah
I
sent
was
me
like,
like a list of Amazon links. She's like, girl, get this, this, this. So grateful.
I did so much research and I asked a lot of people, when you went through this, what, anything, if anything that you can remember that
Helpful.
you wish you would have had that you didn't have, as even the most smallest thing, what is it? I want to know. And people, I would say probably 100 people responded because it was in support groups, right? So about 100 people responded, well, women, right? And out of those people, I would say at least 25 of them all said the same thing. Hysterectomy pillow was the
Yeah,
number one thing. And I said,
love
on
it.
it, bought it. I still use that pillow. It's in
I
my
love
car.
it. I still have it. I use it
It
in
was
my
the
bed.
best thing ever. Did they send you the card too?
That was so sweet. They send a little like get
Oh,
well card, and then on the back it has this healing prayer.
yes.
And that
Mhm.
blessed me so much. It really
No,
did.
I agree. It's so, I thought I had it right here, but I kept it. I have it somewhere. And I thought I put it with my
It's
stickers.
really sweet.
It made me cry. And when I was crying, I sat there and I said, this is so little, but it means so much to me. And
Yeah,
I said,
it did.
if anybody ever asks me, I'm going to lead them to them because to me, that little baby touch meant the world. It
Yeah,
meant
it
the
was a
world.
goodbye. That was a goodbye.
I agree. I agree 100%. So, and you know, we're already past post-surgery. And the reason for the hysterectomy pill, I should have brought it in, is that it sits between you and your seatbelt when you're in the car so that it doesn't rub against your incisions. Obviously, it can be used for any abdominal surgery, right? So it doesn't have to be strictly hysterectomies, but that's what they market it as. I'm sure it's probably listed on other things too,
Yeah,
but that's how I
great.
found it. I researched hysterectomy pillow and that's how I found it. So it also, what I really liked about it is it has like this sleeve so that the seatbelt can slide in between the big part of the pillow and the sleeve so that it doesn't slip out of the way. It doesn't drop. It doesn't move from where it needs to be. It will remain exactly where it needs to sit so it doesn't rub against your incisions. So if you're on the fence about, or I'm going to be getting a hysterectomy, what can help? I promise you the hysterectomy pillow is a huge help.
Yeah.
And remember your chapstick, because I was literally in
Yeah.
tears crying, begging for chapstick, and I couldn't even put it on myself. He handed it to me. I couldn't do it. So he did it for me. I couldn't do it. And I'm so grateful that he was willing to even do that for me.
Yeah, that's a goodbye.
Okay, so the progesterone has helped me with insomnia. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. I'm so, so glad.
Bye.
No more waking up at the witching hour, 3 a.m. Oh, no. I'm so glad, though. I'm so, so glad. Okay, wait. Any diabetes? My OBGYN didn't want her diabetes to continue. Huh. I never heard that. I need to look into that because obviously I have type 2 and perimenopausal.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
my
I'm not.
A1C was at its highest, I remember my endocrinologist asking me about birth control.
Really?
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
because I wasn't on birth control. They
she
put
was
me on birth
asking me
control.
which one
Oh,
I was
man.
on.
Thank you.
Because my A1C was just climbing up.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor. I got all my blood work done. That day is when they told me that I had PCOS. They told me, I remember my OB handed me the paper and said, Delilah, you need to address this with your PCP. I said, okay, I'm on my way over there right now anyway. So,
Mhm.
but she didn't go over it with me. And then she told me all the bleeding that I was doing, let's try Depo-Provera, right? And see if it helps.
Oh,
And I didn't want to. but I said, I'll try it and see what happens. Didn't work for me. It works for other people. Didn't work for me. Hi, Cookie.
Hi, Cookie.
She says, I'm here to learn. Oh, yay. What? You had a total hysterectomy too in 2023? Okay. So,
So you're an expert.
yeah, you have it longer than me. A radical hysterectomy means that you also had both of your ovaries, both of your fallopian tubes, your uterus, and your cervix removed. When you had a total hysterectomy, it means you had your fallopian tubes, your uterus, and your cervix removed.
That's me.
That was me too. I didn't know that. When I said total, people were like, "Oh, they took out your ovaries." I'm like, "No, that's a radical."
That's
People
radical.
didn't know that. They didn't know that they had different names. I didn't know until it happened to me.
Yeah.
And I also had the UFO whatever. It's a weird name, and it really sounds like epidemiology. I don't remember the word, but that means one or more of your ovaries are removed. You can have a double, or you can marry. Oh, look at Mary's cute new name.
Hi,
Mary's
Mary.
Loops
That's
of
cute. All
Love.
right, loops of love. So sweet.
Hey, I'm after 40. Well, I'm not on birth control because I don't have a uterus anymore, but I'm after 40, JC. What does that mean for me? You guys, I'm so behind in the comments. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
catch
Let's
up on comments.
try
I'm
to
gonna be
catch up.
quiet. I'll let you catch up on comments.
No, it's okay. Talk. That's what you're here for, right? I wonder if that has to do with the weight. That is a great question, Jen. I'm going to ask my OB because it might have a lot to do with it. Let me tell you that when I was getting my periods before, I would get so bad, horrible back pain. Like if I thought I was going to go paralyzed, like I'm not kidding. I couldn't stand up straight on my own. And I couldn't sit back down on my own without support of a chair or an arm or the walls or something because of the pain. It was
Why?
so freaking painful. I don't know. I just thought it was what happens with periods, right? It would happen so much that one of my friends, her and I, our periods synced. So when we would go into the office together, whenever she told me, whenever she started her period, she would bring 2 heating pads because she knew that I was going to be paralyzed. So she brought one for me every single time. And she would have it plugged in, and we started at the same time. She would have it plugged in and ready for me because she knew that I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. I couldn't get under the desk to plug it
Wow.
in because my back would be so, I don't even know how I drove to work. And now that it's gone, I don't have periods anymore, but I don't get that anymore. I don't have that back pain anymore. I have different back pain, but I don't have that back pain anymore.
Right.
It's insane. It's insane. Well, now we've discovered that I have the, it's called ankylosing spondylitis, which is a form of arthritis in my spine. We know that now, but I didn't know that then. And it is what it is. So Joe says, we need to encourage our families to share this information. Yes.
Agree.
If Sweet Tea had gone to the doctor when she first had difficulties and said, I have a family history of this, it would have sped up. Okay, you would think it would have. I have a friend, that same friend, that I told her, please go to the doctor. She's only 20. She's my brother's age. She's 24. Please go see an OB. Address this with them. That's when she talked to her mom and found out her mom also has fibroids. And so she did, and the doctor didn't even want to give her an ultrasound. She had to fight with the doctor.
It depends on the doctor, Joe. I'm going to concur with that. I actually had to get on a waiting list to find a gynecological surgeon with like one of the best centers here in Los Angeles.
Oh, thank you.
Because no one else would listen. And so I waited for 3 months to get on this woman's waiting list because I heard she was amazing. Worth the wait because she took me seriously. She listened. She
I'm
ended
so
up
glad to hear that.
But like to your point, yes, like to Delilah's point, I think that we can say all we want to, but if it's to the wrong person, it'll land on deaf ears, So
exactly, because I addressed it for so many years with every OB I had, every PCP I had. I told anybody who would listen, well, medical people who would listen to me, something's wrong with me.
They don't listen.
No, they don't.
No.
And this is what happened to my mother, because exactly what happened to me is exactly what happened to her. I remember driving her to Planned Parenthood, and she had been bleeding for like 2 months. And my brother was like maybe a year old. He was so little. And she was bleeding so much she couldn't function, she couldn't do much. And so I said, okay, well, let me take you to Planned Parenthood, see what they can do, right? So I dropped her off, and from dropping her off, I went a mile down the road because he wanted a Happy Meal. So I went to go buy him his Happy Meal. By the time they were handing me the Happy Meal, and I'm not kidding, it was only 1 mile, the doctor's office or Planned Parenthood, they were calling me, telling me, you need to get back here right now. We've called an ambulance. Your mother's on her way. We don't know that she's going to make it. That's how bad she was, in the exact same position that I was in.
God.
Yeah. And so we, went straight to the hospital. I pulled up and the ambulance was already there, and I followed them to the hospital, and she was going through the same thing. They had to give her blood transfusions, iron transfusions there in the hospital, and they kept her for like 2 weeks. And then they kept releasing her, and it kept happening.
Wow.
And they would not do anything. They wouldn't do anything for her. They gave her DNCs, but that's it. She had 4 different DNCs before they finally agreed to give her hysterectomy. I told my doctors that. None of them cared. They all said, lose the weight and it'll get better.
Yeah. And to that point, talk to your friends, talk to women who have, had these procedures. They might have a healthcare provider that would be willing to help you, but like just going out there in these medical streets, you don't know what you're going to get. So
exactly.
I had a friend and I listened, and I had to wait 3 months to see this woman, but
so glad.
Worth it, yeah. And if anyone's in LA and they want to hear about my amazing doctor, I got you.
I was telling anybody who would listen to me, if you're in the Fort Worth area, I don't care if you are an hour or 2-hour drive, it's worth it to do it. You only need to go, at most once a year when you're already established, right?
Right. Yeah.
Before you're established, you might need to go more, but once a year is worth the drive. I was telling everybody about my doctor. I'm like, I love her. I was writing reviews all day long. Please write reviews on the good surgeons and the good doctors. Please, you guys, please refer them to your friends and family when things like this happen, because medical professionals do not listen to us all the time. And when you find somebody who's willing to listen, share them with other women who are also going through the same or similar, or not even going through anything, but they need a good doctor who's going to listen to them.
Interesting, we both have female doctors too. I'm going to just say that.
Before this doctor, none of my doctors were ever women. They were always men. And not because I chose them, just because that's who was given to me. And I didn't know I could doctor. No, I don't want to call it doctor shop, but I didn't know that I could doctor shop. And now I know. So now you know. Yeah, but I fell into her lap. Like I didn't know. I wasn't searching her.
Blessing.
Yeah, my PCP recommended me to a different doctor who works in the same building, but they have different offices, which is really weird. But that doctor, their wait list was a year long. A year long. I was like, has anybody do anything with this lady? And so they were like, oh, but this doctor has an opening in 6 months. I said, I will take that doctor. Yeah. I would call back every morning. Did you guys have any cancellations? I could come in right now. Yeah. So Smart. JC says, prevalence in certain races, predispositions, environmental and lifestyle factors, and social, I can't read that word.
Yeah.
That word. Of health, like chronic stress from racial discrimination, is a big a big one is vitamin D deficiency. Dear God. Yeah. Yes, I'm also severely vitamin D deficient. Are you?
A lot of people of color are. I've been taking a vitamin D for like 5 years, a vitamin D supplement. So no, I am not deficient. A D and a K2 supplement for about 5 years. So
good.
I'm pretty, and I am in SoCal. So I take walks in the sun.
You get a lot of sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here in Texas, you would think that because it's hot all the time that people wouldn't have vitamin D deficiencies, but even David's vitamin D deficient. We live here and it's so flipping hot that we don't go outside. So, yeah. Lower levels of vitamin D have been linked to increased risk of developing really?
I didn't know that.
Fibroids. The deficiency is partially due to darker skin producing less vitamin D. I did not know that. I had no. Also, if you are getting your vitamin D from sun exposure, which is an amazing way to do it, it's the best way to do it. But make sure you are not covering your eyes for the first 30 minutes that you're out there. Do not wear a hat with the rim covering your eyeballs, right? Do not wear sunglasses. Let your pupils dilate from the sun. The reason for that is when your pupils dilate, that is your brain's trigger to say, oh, this is when we need to start producing, or what's the word? Not producing. God, what's the word? Transforming? I was the word I want to say, but I know that's not the right
I
word.
don't know.
Basically changing, right? You're changing the sun rays into vitamin D into
Oh,
your
like
body.
some sun absorption or is it absorbing?
Let's go with that. I can't remember the word. I'm lost for word right now. But that's what converting. So it
Converting.
converts the sun rays into the vitamin D in your body. But the only way that your brain is triggered to know that it needs to do that is by having your eyes dilate
Oh, I
because of
didn't
the sun.
realize that.
So if you are covering your eyeballs, your brain doesn't know to begin the converting process.
Oh, wow. I always wear a hat on my morning walks because
I do too, but
it's a
I will
skincare.
also, make sure that my eyes can get some of the sun. Only for a little while. I don't do it for
Yeah,
the whole time, but I do
interesting.
make sure that I do that every day because I want to get as much as I possibly can of natural vitamin D because I am severely deficient. I've been on prescription vitamin D pills for like 5 years, and barely are my levels increasing. They're not where they need to be, but they are increasing.
That's good. I'm
My gynecologist.
prioritizing skincare. I should not, but my face is so important to me.
Mine too. Girl, look,
I got too many chemicals on my face to expose it to the sun.
same here,
There's
but
like
that's what
retinol,
sunscreen's for.
hydrochloric acid. There's a lot
That's
going
what
on here, guys. Sorry.
sunscreen is for. The sunscreen will take care of that for you. And,
Okay.
of course,
I'm
you
just
have to make your own decisions for you and your
I
health.
can't. I can't. I can't.
I'm just telling you what the science says on how the vitamin D is converted into vitamin D in your body.
I'm being a jokester. Yes, sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, there are going to be people who are not going to do it, and that's fine. You don't have to do it. I'm merely telling you to look into it. That's it.
Yeah.
Just look into it. My gynecologist, God, why do I keep messing up that word? My gynecologist says diabetes was a factor in my uterine fibroids and polyps. Really?
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. We're hearing that from several different people.
Yeah. And
Huh.
I didn't get diagnosed with diabetes until I had already started bleeding like that. So mine was already a big problem before I even got diagnosed with diabetes. Before that, all my A1Cs were always normal. I had the best OBGYN and surgeon. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear it.
I'm glad
So,
for
so glad.
you.
You haven't had any classic menopause symptoms? That's amazing. What are classic menopause symptoms to you, I wonder? But I think, but I think my type 1
Bless it.
has an impact on delaying some of the menopause related symptoms. That's interesting. Never heard that.
Girl, if you haven't had hot flashes or night sweats, you are blessed by God. So you should just keep moving. That is amazing.
And remember that not everybody is going to get symptoms. And
Yeah,
there are a lot of symptoms that are not even known to be, like
actual
I mean,
symptoms.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
ringing in your ears. Did you know that ringing in your ears could be, tinnitus could be a sign of menopause or perimenopause?
Frozen shoulder.
Hmm. I don't know if you guys remember this. I would show you guys all the time. I could not get my arm past here on my own. I had
That's
to
what
use my other arm or I had to use the wall. I had to use something. But now I can go all the way,
look at
and
her.
that is HRT. And look, it doesn't even hurt. And before I would be, it hurt so I couldn't do it. It was like it would lock right here, and I couldn't do. And then if I could go anymore, I was in tears because it hurt so bad. So that stinks. But HRT corrected it in in 2023 at the age of 66 because I was very overweight and had had a histoscopy, also had a histoscopy and a DNC, and I was administered an IUD for progesterone to keep fibroids away and uterine bleeding. I am very glad to hear that. Did it work for you? I hope it worked, because that's exactly what they did to me in September. It didn't work for me.
Really? Same procedure? Huh.
Same exact thing. I had a histoscopy with the DNC and an ablation, but they inserted the IUD after. She was like, "You're already going to be under anesthesia, so it won't hurt." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, let's try it." But it didn't work because I continued to bleed.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it is what it is. For
We're
me,
on the other side of the journey, so you're
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. For me, I'm glad that it happened the way that it did, because if those things would have worked and then only short term, right, and then it started happening again, I'd be right back in the same boat. So at least right now, I am not only physically healing from all of it, I'm
Yeah.
emotionally healing from all of it. I'm
Yeah.
mentally, like, I'm healing 100% from all of it. And that wouldn't have been the case. I would likely still be having issues. I'll ask my doctor her thoughts when I see her in a few minutes. Yes, please. I would love an update. I really, really would love an update. I would love it. I would love it.
Yes.
That's the difference with the US and the UK system. We only see a specialist when the problem is at
Really?
its worst stage. That's once treatment is offered, you don't see the expert again. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is one of, I know that insurance and medical insurance stuff is very, very, very polarizing. And it is a very hot topic. And there are so many people who feel this way and that way and the other way. But for me, I have always been adamant that our healthcare system has its faults, and it's awful in a lot of ways, but it's also amazing in a lot of ways, because I hear stories like that all the time, where it takes years, years to get into a doctor or a specialist or whatever you need, right? Like, to how long? Joe said it took her 7 months to get tested for sleep apnea. You know what I did? I called my insurance. They said, "Oh, your employer covers this program. It's called Sleep Charge." So I called Sleep Charge. They said, "Oh, we'll get that overnighted to you." The next night, I was doing my sleep test. For all its faults, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Would I trade the costs? Yes. But I personally do not want specialized medicine.
And that's what it comes down to. It's time or money, right? Because I know in the UK,
Mhm.
they probably have better cost coverages, but
I think it's all covered, but it comes out of their taxes, right? They pay extra in their
right.
taxes
Taxes,
in order to do it. So I know people say, "Oh, it's free healthcare." It's not free healthcare. You're paying for it.
Nothing's free.
Mhm. You are paying for it. You are just not paying personally into your, but you're paying for it. I don't know. Like, I don't know, but I feel horrible hearing that, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's just awful. And that was another thing too. That's what made me need to make my decisions now, right? Because I had already hit my deductible. I had already hit my max out of pocket. I had already, like, for the year, and the year was almost over. So I was like begging anybody, please, somebody let me get this done by the end of this year, begging the doctor, the surgeon, the hospitals, and my insurance. Please, please make this happen. I cannot afford to have to sell my house because I'm going to end up in the hospital. And that's what's going to end up happening. I'm going to go bankrupt and you're going to take my house away. So I would like a roof over my head, but I'd also like to bleed to death.
You shouldn't have to make those kinds of choices. No.
Exactly. Exactly. So Cookie says, whatever I had, they took. Told them to take it all. Oh, God. So I know when my mom had hers done, neither one of us know, because I don't remember and she doesn't remember. We don't know if she has parts left. We don't know if they took everything. We have no clue. But back in those days, they only did it abdominally. So it was like getting a cesarean, right? So she has the bikini line incision. That's how they took it out. And back then, it was still considered gold standard to keep a cervix. So they would take the uterus, they would take the fallopian tubes, whether they took the ovaries or not, I don't know, but they would leave in the cervix.
Oh, interesting.
So I know some of my aunts still have their cervix. And because of that, did you know that you can still have breakthrough bleeding if you still have your cervix? I didn't know that.
And you're still at risk for uterine cancer.
Exactly. And so now it's considered the gold standard to remove it.
Yeah.
And then you no longer have like that opening inside, which I never really thought about either, right? Like I didn't realize it's like open
You
to
still
the
bleed and
elements.
have like these they call them like phantom periods.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they told me that. I'm like, no. Take that. I don't want that.
Oh, they gave you an option?
They did. They still
They
give
didn't
you an option.
They're like,
Yeah,
we're
they
taking it
still
off.
give you an option. They're like, if you want to keep it, but here are the risk factors, and you're still at risk for uterine cancer, and you could still have breakthrough bleedings and phantom periods, and looks like you got some cysts there. I'm like, okay, like, this isn't really a choice. Please remove it.
I didn't know that you were given. Wasn't given the option. The option that I was given was, do you want to try a myomectomy? Do you want to try another ablation? Or we need to do a hysterectomy. My only option, like real option that was given to me was if you cannot find out whether or not there's history of ovarian cancer, we are going to take them both. But if you can find out, then, we'd prefer to leave them, but it's your choice. It was the only decision I was really given. Because when the doctor told me about the myomectomy to take them out of my muscle, she was like, yes, it's technically a choice, but it's not really one for you. So it wasn't true. I wasn't really
for health
getting
reasons, right? Yeah, like it's not recommended to keep it. But I do want to say there are lots of women. I have a friend who had hers removed. There are a lot of women who say that having their cervix removed changes their sex life.
I've heard that too.
I want to bring that up because I think it's an important point. I don't have a partner. I'm not married, so I wasn't as concerned about that. But I think my friend said she feels like it has changed things for her. I don't think that's everyone's kind of testimony, but that's why they still give you the choice and the option. But it just seems like a hassle to me. I mean, like,
I agree.
To deal with bleeding and potential cancer and cysts growing there. It wasn't something I even considered.
Maybe they didn't give me that option because I already they knew I had cysts in my ovaries. I mean, my uterus. They didn't know yet about the ovaries. They didn't find that out until they went in. But maybe that's why I wasn't given the option, because if you're at more risk for cysts and they already knew I was already prone to them, maybe, I don't know. But now I'm curious. Now I want to know.
I know.
When I went back for my post-op with that surgeon, I told her, not for nothing, thank you so much. You've been amazing, but I hope I never see you again. She was like, yes, if I ever see you again, I hope it's in a Starbucks line or something. Because he's an oncologist. You don't want to see an oncologist.
No, you do not. No. Ever again. That's true.
And just so you know, there is a lot of fear that comes around hearing you need to go see one, even though you are being told we don't see any sign, like your test results are all negative. This isn't, for that reason. It's still scary. It's still scary to hear. So for those of you who are there because you need to be there, I'm so sorry, because that is an incredibly scary experience. And to this day, one of the best things that happened, because I had to go there for my second or third round of iron infusions, and that took 6 hours. 6 flipping hours. When I was there, I realized that I didn't have anything to do, right? I forgot my book. I forgot my color. I was going to take a coloring book and I was going to take a regular book. I forgot them. I forgot the charger to my phone. I wasn't prepared as I should be. So they were like, oh, it's okay. They had these gallon Ziploc bags, and it had like crossword puzzles, and it had a pin and it had mints, because doing those things can make you nauseous. So it had peppermints in it. It had some ginger mints. It had a hand sanitizer and a lotion. And when I realized that these things were being donated, because there was a card inside, like right from a family, and I was like, this is the sweetest, most thoughtful thing I've ever
Oh, that's
seen.
sweet.
And as soon as I am financially stable again, I was out of work for over a year. But once I am 100%, I'm going to make my own packages and go take them there, because it just touched my heart so much that somebody was willing to go out of their way. I know it's not a huge thing, but it
Yeah,
is a huge thing to somebody who's going through that.
it
And
is.
it was just so sweet. And I'm going to do it. So if you guys are financially able to do something similar, I promise you there's some sort of children's hospital, there's some sort of nursing home, there's some sort of oncology office who can use the donations and the love for those poor patients.
Do it.
Please do it if you can.
Delilah, I have to say something. This is the reason. This is the reason. I'll tell you all in the chat that this is the reason I don't go live. Is because I have a PP alarm on my phone that has now gone off twice.
So go.
During 3 of these a day, I have to go. I'm gonna be
Go.
right back. But
Don't worry about it.
I have to keep it so real with you guys. I
I'll
don't
catch
know
up.
how y'all be on live for 3 hours and don't get up. I think it's magical.
You know why? Because I no longer have a uterus pushing on my bladder. That's why.
I will be back in 3 minutes.
No problem. Sweet Tea is going to be back, you guys. And while Sweet Tea is gone, we will catch up on the comments. We'll see how many we can catch up on. So JC says that my medical team is about to get some nice Christmas presents. Aw. That is so awesome. Really, that was not your experience. You didn't deal with any of that. I'm so glad to hear it, though. I'm so glad to hear it. Oh, let's see. That sounds so frightening. It was really, really scary and incredibly traumatic. And I can't even imagine what he went through seeing it. Like, I really can't imagine what poor David dealt with, because he didn't feel what I was feeling, right? He didn't know what I was physically going through. He only heard, hey, I saw you peek your head in. Where'd you go? He ran away. I was going to ask him right now, but he's gone. He ran away. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I didn't see him peek his head in. Maybe he's not here. He did say he was going to go to Walmart. All of my doctors, surgeons, even my dentists are women. Really? Really? I see a female midwife now, but had a male GYN and loved him before he retired. Aw. Well, I'm so sorry that he retired. That stinks for you. Good for him, but not for you. Oh, you're on prescription vitamin D too? Yeah, me too. And then every time I take it with a K2 supplement and my magnesium, because it helps it to absorb into your body parts, where I don't remember which body part it needs to go to. Because it'll either go like into your bones or I don't remember, but it goes to the wrong place. And it helps it to go to the right place. Oh, Nicole, you finished your laundry? I forgot all about mine. But now I'm back. I need to catch up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Metabolizing. That must have been when I was trying to figure out what the word was. That's how far back I am. I knew I saw him. Hey, real quick. Do you remember what it felt like when I was going through all of that? Like, because you weren't inside of my body. You didn't understand. Do you remember was it scary? Was it not scary? When I was bleeding all the time, everywhere, leaving blood clots all over the ground.
Oh yeah.
What did you? How did
I
that
don't know.
make
I
you
thought
feel?
you were losing a lot of blood, so.
I don't know if you guys can hear him, but okay. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't die either. See you in a little while. He's going to Walmart.
Okay.
When we're done here?
Back.
Okay, when we're done here.
We're going back.
Don't worry about it. I only got through like 3 comments. Don't worry. But
I don't know how y'all do it. I like sometimes I'm on live and I'm like, I peed 3 times.
that's how. I'm not kidding. I couldn't have done this before. Before I got my uterus taken out, I would literally be peeing at least once every hour, at least waking hour, right? Because when I was asleep, that didn't happen. But I do everything Delilah just said not to do. Shades, hat, covering my eyes. I do all of that. I used to always do all of that too, but now I've learned. That's hard with migraines. This is true. When you have chronic migraines, the bright lights can trigger it. Also, different smells can trigger. Like, just living can trigger it. Like my candle, it was plugged in earlier. I had to unplug it because it was making me dizzy, and I said, nope, we're turning that off. Oh no, Cookie just started getting night sweats.
Oh, Cookie.
I'm so sorry.
Black cohosh has been helping me a bit.
Oh, really? Well, that's good.
Mhm. It's
I know that there's a lot of
Estroven, I think is the brand name. Estroven, it's over the counter.
That's awesome.
They have a lot of different formulas, but it's been helping.
I remember when my mom got hers, they told her to increase the food she eats that has estrogen. I remember them saying tofu. I don't remember anything else, but I remember tofu. Yeah.
Sorry.
Tofu can be good if it's prepared right. If you overcook tofu, it gets really dry, but it takes on the flavor of any other food that you eat with it or cook with it. JC says, I'm blessed by God, but I could do without the type 1. I agree.
Type 1 is tough, JC.
Yeah, it's scary. But I think that's a part of the blessing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Hey, ladies. Hey, Alonda.
Hi, Alonda.
Oh, no. You're going back and forth between night sweats and cold day chill. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hormones are...
Okay, estrogen. Over the counter. I know that isn't like HRT, which is what I'm waiting to get, but it's been helping a little. I'm not gonna lie. It has black cohosh and something else in it. It's over the counter. It's just a supplement. It's not a medication, so it's just like a herbal supplement. I think it's helping. If that helps.
I hope you can find something that does help, Alonda. So JC says that she gets night sweats when her blood sugar is in the 50s. That never happened to me. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was showing you guys my CGM monitor, right? And at night I was dropping to like the 40s. And I never had symptoms. I didn't even know. I had no idea. The only reason I knew was because the alarm was going off. Oh, Joe.
18 months, Joe.
Oh my God.
So long.
I am
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Wow.
That's a long time.
That's too long. Whoa, I'm so sorry. Hey, Harji. Be careful. Drive safe. Drive safe, madam. You guys are making me not want to get a hysterectomy. What? No, get it. If you can.
The goal. That is not the goal here.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. Oh, no.
If you need it,
what can we say
do
to change
it.
your mind?
For me, it's just about knowing what can happen to you after, right? Because not everybody's going to go through what we're going through.
Maybe we just so talk about the positives, Delilah.
Well, let me tell you right now, the positive is that I have not peed my pants. Not even when I had a really bad cough. I can now hold my pee. I'm not kidding when I tell you I couldn't hold my pee before. If my brother and me used to fight, because we're only 11 months apart, we used to fight all the time because he would go take a shower and we shared a bathroom. He would go take a shower and I would be banging on the door, let me in. I need to pee right now. If you don't let me in, I'm going to pee in my pants. And I meant it. I had literal minutes from the moment I felt like I had to pee to the moment it was going to come out, whether I was on the toilet or not, period. And he says, we used to fight. My brother doesn't even care about anything. Nothing bothers him, but that bothered him. And after that happened, I told him, oh my God, guess what? And I told him all about how I can hold my pee now. He was like, are you kidding me? He's like, I thought you were just being a butthole. No, it was really for real. Like I couldn't, and I can now. That's a positive. That is a great.
Yeah, I mean, Nicole, what are your symptoms? Like if you're not uncomfortable, you're not having heavy bleeding, you're not walking around 6 months pregnant feeling, you're not having incontinence, then why, you might not need to have a hysterectomy at this point. But I think our point is if you're suffering, the like my suffering has ended. You know what I mean? I know that there's other things that are happening now, but they don't compare to like just feeling free in your body, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Do you still sometimes forget you're not going to get a period? Do you think like, oh my God, I'm going to start my period? Or, you know what? I haven't started my period yet.
You know what? I've had like I still have period like symptoms once a month. Do you have
Me too.
that?
Hmm.
They just like it feels like you're gonna have one and then nothing happens. Which
Hmm.
is like you're like, yay!
Yeah.
But I get like bloated. Like,
Hmm.
we're weighing ourselves, the GOP-1 weigh-ins, and
Hmm.
so the month. I mean, I know the when I used to have my periods, it's still on my calendar. And so
Hmm.
I do notice that my weight ticks up right around that time. So I'm still getting bloated. And I'm like, my body is used to doing this thing that it hasn't adjusted to not doing the prep work for a period. And then it just doesn't happen. So
Well, that's not going to stop until you go into full blown menopause.
I
And
think
then
so.
your hormones are just out of whack and gone. So that's another thing, too. One thing I regret, my periods were not very reliable anyway. So I didn't really, I couldn't really track them that well. But if your periods are trackable, after I got my hysterectomy, 2 days later, I said, why do I still have this period tracking app? Delete. That was the biggest mistake because now I don't know when those things are
Now
going to
you don't
happen.
know. Yeah. Keep it for the
So,
year,
yeah,
1 year.
keep it. Do not delete it like I did. Keep track because I promise you, you are probably, unless you get your ovaries taken out, both of them, you are still going to go through
Yeah.
having, your body's still going to have a period without having a period, You're going to go through all
Yeah.
of that. And that is why getting a hysterectomy doesn't cure PCOS because you still have the hormonal issues.
Wow.
So Nicole says that I have uterine prolapse. Dear God,
That
polyps on my cervix and endometriosis. I've been
girl.
discussing having it all taken out since it falling out anyways. Do it. Stop discussing it. Schedule your appointment. Oh
I
my gosh, I'm so
This is a
sorry.
lot of pain you're in. I know what
Yeah.
that feels like. I know what a prolapse. I had a prolapsed uterus. I didn't have endometriosis. I had endometriotitis, which is an infection. But that all just causes super heavy bleeding, sis.
I'm
It-
so sorry. That's terrible. Just so you know, though, you can also get vaginal prolapse after your hysterectomy. So please be very, very careful with the
oh
way that
yeah,
you do things. Do not lift heavy things. Do not overdo it. You're going to feel pretty okay some days.
yeah.
Other days, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. But some days, you're going to feel pretty good right after you have your surgery. Do not run with it.
You got to be careful.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do not want to risk having vaginal prolapse because then you'll have to go and get a new surgery. So be careful. Okay.
But Nicole, do you
Okay, I
want
didn't warn you.
to have more children? Is that why you're kind of holding off on it? I'm
Good
curious. I'm
question.
just curious because there
Nicole, do
is
you want
that factor.
one? Let's see. Oh, hey, Pamela, how are you?
Hi, Pamela.
She said, I've been sitting and listening and learning so much. I'm so sorry for all of you who had to deal with this. I got to run, but I'm going to catch. Well, I hope you have a great day. And I hope you're not dealing with any of these things. I mean, you're a woman, so you're going to go through the menopause part eventually, but Cookie, let's see. She says they tried to do mine robotically, but they couldn't. Oh no, too much scar tissue. Yeah, that's another thing. People who've had a lot of different surgeries or a lot of babies can have a lot too much scar tissue to be able to do it laparoscopically. Was yours also the Da Vinci robot? Do you know?
I did have the robot, and they did say that my surgery took an hour longer because of my scar tissue from my C-section. She said
Makes
that it
sense.
was just like really slow going to get through all the
Mhm.
scar tissue for my because
Mhm.
I've had two C-sections, so both of my children were C-section.
Yeah, because back in the day, they used to say once you got one C-section, they wouldn't even give you a chance to have vaginal or
No, they
yeah,
didn't.
vaginal birth. The next time it would always be C-section for the rest of your life. That's no longer the gold standard.
Yeah.
Um, so I got the small incision scars, but the big scar drains. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is terrible. Oh goodness. But wait, 2023. So you're healed now, right? Right?
She is. And Cookie says she's happy she did it. So
Yay. So I want to know, those of you who've had it longer than me, do you guys still get those weird like pains in your abdomen or in your vagina? I had something called lightning crotch. I know it sounds scary and it feels scary, but basically you get electrical shock, or well, it feels like electrical shocks within your vaginal opening. Like it could be in different places, even like wherever, right? It's most common in pregnant women, but I had that for my whole life. I did not know that it wasn't normal, that everybody didn't go through it. In fact, you know how I found out? I text my cousin because she is going through the same thing right now and she is fighting to get a hysterectomy. And she was asking me questions about it. And I was like, well, you know how you get that like electric shock feeling? She was like, what? She's like, no, I don't know. I said, is it just me? She said, yeah, it's just you.
yeah, I don't think that's not an everyone thing.
She had I thought it was normal. I didn't know. I didn't know, but I still get that. I still have it in my
I don't
abdomen,
think
and
that I've had that I've had it a few times, but not like regularly.
good. I'm glad. I would get it at least monthly. We get up, notice, we turn the camera off.
Oh, sorry.
I don't. I just leave it on. You know why? Because I will forget to turn it back on.
Honestly, I don't know StreamYard well. I don't want to press a button. I was on Vanity's Live and I pressed the wrong button and hung up. So I didn't want to press anything.
I will forget and I will leave you off without even knowing. So that's why I don't.
I don't know StreamYard well enough to touch it. Sorry, Jay.
And the good thing is that I have this mic so I could take off and you guys can still hear me talking. Cookie says she's going to look for that. Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Estrogen. It's good.
Hey, Michelle. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Michelle's mirror. Hey, girl.
She said, Cookie says, team hysterectomy.
That's what I'm saying. Cookie's like, go do it. Yeah. I mean,
right.
I definitely want this to be positive, like a positive hysterectomy space.
Oh, Joe. So sorry. I'm so glad though that your doctor's trying. I hope it can be sped along. Okay, so Nicole's done having kids.
She's done, girl.
Nicole, I was 20 when my little brother was born. He was a blessing. Total surprise. Nobody knew. Nobody planned for him, but it's okay. He was still a blessing. There's no regrets in my mother's life having him. And I will never put it into the world otherwise. But do it. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, girl?
It's a personal choice and decision, Nicole. If you don't want to do it, you shouldn't do it.
But you're already talking about it. You're already discussing it with your doctor. So it's on your mind. Excuse me.
Sorry, losing it with Grace.
Hey, Grace. Oh, I'm so sorry. She said she's even queasy from it. Oh, I'm sorry. Imagine how we felt going through it. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Thank you for the support. No pressure to stay.
Exactly. Come back next time. Don't worry. The next conversation will probably include a lot of that too, because I don't know how to stay on topic. But Nicole says that. So you get them too, Nicole. Okay. See, I'm not alone, but apparently it's not as common as I thought. It's not as common. Going to move my body. Thank y'all for this. And just so you know, I hate that word, y'all. For me to read it. For this, it's a blessing. My husband couldn't come in 21 times. This receptionist at the hospital prayed for me, and I'm so glad to hear it. That's amazing. That's at 20. Yeah, right after 2020. So that's right. You couldn't have no visitors. Hey,
enjoy your workout.
Yes, enjoy your outside time. Delilah, you're looking gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Miss Linda. I love Mrs. Linda. She said I was 60 at the time, so it didn't hurt my feelings to get mine out. Well, I'm glad to hear it because it hurt mine. And apparently it hurt Sweet Teeth too. So we were not alone. But we got through all the comments, you guys. Yay.
Yay.
But
okay.
We just both felt it was really important to talk about the things that we're going through and what it's like, in the beginning of our surgery and at the end of our surgery. I mean, for those of you that don't know, I think it was the next morning or 2 days later, I decided I filmed a video in my bed. I never do that,
You
but I
did.
filmed a video in my bed, and people were like, "Oh, I can tell that you're on the painkillers," but I wasn't. I was still on. I mean, the anesthesia doesn't go completely away for a while, and they give you nerve blocking medication and all of these things that are supposed to last for about a week after. So I was still under that, but I wasn't on other pills. And I was like, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I came off. Like after, it is what it is. But I just want you guys to know that there are choices out there. You don't have to suffer. And no, it's not normal. It's your normal, but it's not normal. You shouldn't be having to suffer if there are options. If you can have options and you can discuss those things with your doctor, I highly suggest that you do. I'm not saying go and get a hysterectomy unless that's the decision that is, right for your health. But for me, this health journey began in here, right? I fell into a deep depression. I couldn't get out of it. For 5 years, I was in and out, in and out, in and out. I could not get out of it. Well, I guess 4 years. And I couldn't get out of it. And I started going to therapy and I started doing all these things. And I said, I'm already doing this. Let's start addressing the eds. Let's address the eds in the room because there's too many personalities here. Let's get rid of some. And so when I started addressing those things, that's when I was able to start. And that's where I lost, 120 pounds. And it came off relatively quickly, a lot faster than the GLP-1 weight has come off. And then, I had the whole year where nothing. But while all of this was happening, I started saying, okay, I'm already doing the hard work of this part and this part and this part. I'm going to do everything that I can. So I started addressing the hormonal acne. I started addressing the hair loss. I started addressing, all of it, just everything all wrapped into one. It's been a lot of work, but it has been incredibly worth it. And I hope that you guys take at least that, if nothing else, that you are worth it. Even as small as some things feel, they can significantly improve your emotional and mental health. Do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Acne is not a big deal to some people, but it was to me. It was painful. It was ugly. And it was painful. mentally painful, not just physically, right? So for me, even the little things are worth addressing if you can. Why not? Well, who's it going to hurt if you address it and they say nothing can be done and you'll say, okay, you were going to deal with it anyways without ever addressing it. So why not? So for you, Sweet Tea, what made you begin this journey?
The hysterectomy journey?
All of it.
I mean, I was suffering as a human, on this planet, and I think a lot of women walk around in pain and in not only emotionally, but physically. And I was in pain in all the ways. When I started at 280 pounds, I could barely walk because my knee was giving out on me. And so I was walking around with a physical limp, and I don't, every time I went to go get help, we all know what the doctor said, you got to get the weight off, And then when I went to try to get the weight off, they wouldn't give me the medication because my A1C was 6.4, 6.3, and then 6.4, but that's not diagnosable for diabetes. So I had to literally take my health into my own hands and go compound on the tirzepatide because I had done enough research and I had seen my mom lose weight and my sister start losing weight. And for me, the weight, for me, all of my problems was weight. And then as the weight started to come off, I'm like, that's only like one of the problems. You know what I mean? Not to be, funny about it, but
no, I understand.
That's when I discovered that like, because I started to get smaller, I could physically feel this cantaloupe in my belly. Whereas before, when I was 280, I didn't know I had a cantaloupe sized fibroid, And so it was like getting the weight off caused me to really evaluate how like it literally made me feel like, okay, I think I don't just want to get the weight off. I literally want to become a healthier person. I want to be a human being on the planet that isn't suffering every day, you know?
So,
And so that included the hysterectomy. And so now I've done that. And like Delilah, we've talked about this. I literally feel so much lighter and better and younger and all the things. And I had no idea that I was in that much pain and so bogged down, you know? And it was emotionally hard and it was all of the things, you know, but it was the same fears that I faced in, you know, getting the weight off. And we're all doing that, you know? So I'm like, this is a progressive healing journey. And I'm like you know, now that I've gotten the hysterectomy done, I'm like, skincare. You know, I'm gonna probably take some NAD, which is coming soon, which you can follow on my journey. I'm all about the self care. You know, I'm getting my teeth done. I told you guys I got tattooed
awesome.
eyebrows. We're self caring and like I just want to be the best, healthiest version of myself as I approach 50. You know, so
So awesome. That is so awesome.
but yeah,
Like,
it's been life changing.
I
It's
am
been
just so glad to hear that from you. Like, I really, 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 I know it comes off cheesy and I know people think, but for real, it touches my heart so much to hear your guys' stories
yeah.
that you are learning to love yourself in a way that you couldn't before.
I
And now
couldn't
you're willing to try. And
totally. And
it's
it
like
is.
so
That's what
awesome
it
to
comes
me.
down to is self-love, right? I mean, that's the reason why I could not in my mind figure out how to lose the weight because I
Mhm,
honestly didn't think I was worth it. You know
mhm.
what I mean? I just really I was so low on my own list that it's just like it was just like, oh well, this is what it is. But when I figured out that, oh my God, like I might not make it to 50 if I don't do something about this, you know? And I felt
No,
the same way with the hysterectomy.
that feeling is real. It's real. That's what I talk about all the time. I didn't think I would make it to 40. I didn't think I would make it to 45. And I knew for damn sure I wasn't making it to 50. I
That's what I'm
wasn't.
saying. And you start really, it's like like looking at your, what is it called? Like your life. And see, like you have the power to extend it, you know? And I didn't really think that was true until I started on the weight loss journey. And now I know, like I already know what it's about to look like in 5 years. It's about to be hot. It's about to be hot over here. Okay, I'm gonna just let y'all know now.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Jen
That's
F is
awesome.
in the comments. She already knows. She sends me like things offline, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna be a hot
Look,
mama. I'm gonna be a hot mama. That's the plan.
all I know is that for me, it wasn't about getting skinny, right? It wasn't about getting smaller, like physically. Yes, that was part of it.
It's a
But
part
that
of
wasn't,
yeah.
yeah, that wasn't the main goal for me. The main goal for me was not necessarily getting smaller, but to have, I lived so small for so long, right? Like not physically, but my life was so small for so long.
You're mentally.
There was so little joy in my life.
Yeah.
I just wanted a bigger life. I wanted I wanted something I had never experienced before, which was actually enjoyment, right? I wanted to live for enjoyment, not necessarily for anything else. And for me, that's really what my journey like is about is just wanting to live bigger. I'm tired of being invisible. Even I have 500 pounds is not invisible, but in my brain,
Yeah.
people didn't pay attention to me. People didn't notice me. So in my brain, okay, it's my invisibility cloak, right?
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. And I'm just I'm just so hopeful that you all understand how worthy you are.
So worthy. Come on, preach it to him.
Yeah, because you said it yourself. You didn't feel worthy.
I didn't. I didn't. And I
And
and I think we can both say that like there is mental work that has to be done too. You know, I
100%.
want to point out I am in therapy. I do have a therapist.
Good for you.
You know, it's not like weekly. I wish I could afford weekly, but I think that there's like, what can you afford? You know, I can afford to see her once a month. We do check-ins. And she's really the one that's confronted me about like, hey, if you're hurting, like why are you okay with that? You know what I'm saying? And so
I
I
like
agree
her.
with you, Delilah. I love her. I agree with you, Delilah. It's here that starts to change, especially when people start treating you differently. I know people have treated you differently from when you began to now. Because looking in your square, it's fire over here. Like the face is done, the face is sweet, the hair is thick, the skin is clear.
With my bald spot here. But
You look great. You look
you
great.
know, people keep saying stuff like that to me, and I'm just like, I think it's because for the last 5 years, I didn't do this anymore. You know, I wasn't wearing makeup anymore. I wasn't trying to do any of those things. Before that, I wouldn't leave my house without makeup on.
Well, you said
Now
that you love makeup.
I do. I love to put makeup on. I love to play with it. I would do it just to go wash my face right after,
Yeah.
just to see if I would like it. Like it, I loved it so much, but I lost so much of myself over the last few years
Mm,
that I didn't care anymore. Now, suddenly, I'm making myself care. Like,
love it.
I think it's, I think it's, oh, there's an author, right, where she talks about you need to just do the things that are good for you, right? Learn to love what's good for you.
Yes.
Even if you don't like it, if you don't like your vegetables, if you don't like protein, if you don't like walking, if you don't like strength training, too effing bad. Do it anyways.
Like it.
Do it anyways. You don't like water, drink it anyways.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt you to do it. It's not causing you physical ailments to drink water or to go for a walk. You know, you might not be able to go for a walk in that way, but at least do what you can,
Yeah.
even if you don't like it, because it's not fun. But eventually you will get used to it and you'll start to enjoy it and you'll miss it when it's gone.
Totally.
But yeah.
And I love that you color on your channel, right? And I remember watching you color last year late in the fall, and I'm like, why does she color? And you color because it brings you joy,
I
right?
color because it gets me out of my head.
It's simple. Like, why do I need to know why you cut? And I'm like, okay, maybe my thing isn't coloring, but like, me singing over, at the end of my little videos or when I'm watching, singing brings me joy, And so it's like like to your point, the little things that can like fulfill you and make your life happy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to color. I got myself a little coloring book. You know what I
You
mean?
like it?
It's like I think we can take that from each other. The little things.
Yeah. I think that even though we see them as little, they're not little
Not
because they bring us joy.
Yeah, it's true.
They do. Like for me, coloring didn't bring me joy. Coloring brought me out of my head. Like I was so
Really?
stuck in here that doing that broke the stuck. And that's why I
That's
started doing it. That's why I
that's
still do
an
it.
act of self-love though. You
And
know?
it was hard to do. I didn't want to do it. I had double carpal tunnel surgery, so my hands don't work the way normal people's hands work. But I just work through the pain, and it
Wow.
helps to do that. It helps to push through it, which is why I know that you could drink your water, which is why I know that you could get your protein in, which is why I know that you can get as much movement as your body allows, because not all of us can do, different movements, but what you can do it, even if you don't like it. It's okay. We didn't, how many of us liked being fat? We didn't like it, but we did it.
You did. Facts. Facts.
Well, guess what? You don't have to be fat forever. We ain't gonna be. And we are gonna have, I have been saying this for like a year. We are gonna have a grand party one day. We're gonna go somewhere. I don't know where. I keep saying Vegas. I don't know why, but somewhere. We're gonna go somewhere and we're gonna have fun.
Turn it up.
Yes, we're gonna meet in person. We're gonna show off our new bodies to each other. We're gonna talk about all of our scale and non-scale victories alike, and we are just gonna enjoy life.
Yeah, this sounds good. Sounds like a good plan.
But I have already kept you for 2 hours, sweetie. I don't want to steal your whole Saturday. But thank you so much for sharing your story. And just know that even though you've shared it here, that doesn't mean you can't continue to share it. You know,
I appreciate
post
that.
a video, make a video all about it. Anything that you're willing to share. But you guys, please, if you take nothing else from this, share your health history with your family. I know everybody is so adamant that our health is private. It's private. It's private. And yeah, it is private to strangers. I'm not asking you to go and broadcast it like I'm doing. You don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to go call the news and tell them to post all about it, but share it with your biological family because it is important. It is so important for them to know if you've had fibroids, if you've had uterine or ovarian cancer, because it can change the next female's life. If there's any history of ovarian cancer in your family, no matter how far back or how distant it is, they will remove both of your ovaries to be safe, because otherwise you can get ovarian cancer and nobody will even know because there's no outward signs, because you no longer have a uterus to show it. So share those parts.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed. It's not embarrassing. It's just part of life. We're embarrassed and we feel it's taboo because nobody talks about it. But you can talk about it and you can change that, and you can kill that curse where it stands. And nobody else in your family, nobody else in your bloodline have to suffer because you were willing to be open and to share that.
Yeah. It's true. It's a good lesson.
Miss Sweet Tea, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. For those of you guys who don't know, we are doing book club today over on Felicia's channel. She's going to do the first chapter of Let Them by Mel Robbins. So if you guys have free time, she's going to have it starting in 22 minutes at 4 o'clock Pacific time. No, 2 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Central time. So in about half an hour.
Okay. Oh,
So
cool.
if you guys have the time, I will share the link on the channel. She's already shared the link on hers for Miss Felicia Marie B. And it's going to be a great book. So you don't have to have read it, but you can read it in advance. You don't have to, but we're just going to read it together. And we're going to discuss it. And that's why I do this. That's why I do these books in these book clubs. Even if I just talk to myself, sometimes talking to yourself out loud helps you to heal. And I hope that it helps you too. So, Miss Sweet Tea, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Love you, Delilah.
Bye, Chad.
Digital hugs. I love when you do that.
It's just fun. I don't know. And I don't do it in the lives, but in all my videos I do it because I feel like it's lasting forever and you guys are always going to see it. And
I always receive your digital hugs.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to run through the comments right now, but I'm going to let you go so I don't have to keep stealing your time. But I hope you have a great day.
Bye, Chad. Bye, Delilah.
Okay, guys, let's real quick read through these. Let's see. Oh, hey, Mia. So Sandra said, whoop, 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 whoop. Sandra says, thanks for the information, ladies. This was very informative for me. I had no idea it was so common. I knew that it was common, but I didn't know it was so common. And I had no idea that African-American women deal with this far more often. Is it African-American? It can't be just African-American women, right? It has to be, African descent women, period, no matter what country. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's only here. I don't know. But I'm always learning and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, Carol from Australia. Look at, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I appreciate it. And she says that she appreciates your openness and, oh, I hope you're hearing this, sweet tea, your openness and information. Oh, I love it. Miss Linda, we adore you. We're so glad you got to see you. Oh, Jen, you are so right. The level up is real. And you guys, we really are going to have this big giant shindig. When I win the lottery, I'm paying for everybody's hotels. Self-care is the ultimate act of true love. You can't pour from an empty cup. We are deserving. We are. And it's so true. As cliche as it's a cliche for a reason, right? Because it's true. I mean, it can't be any less true. So Cookie says, I think I was just so grateful that the precancerous, oh, so sorry to hear that. That had to have been scary to hear. The precancerous cells they found were just that, precancerous, and there was no cancer. Oh, praise God. So at this point, the hysterectomy itself was the least of my worries. I get that. And I'm so glad, so glad to hear that. The right party kind of hot, sweet tea. Oh, Harji, did you make it home safe? You must have made it home by now. You both looked lovely, amazing transformations. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate it. And I'm sure that Sweet Tea does too. Let's see. All right, I'll talk to my doctor again when I see her later this month and I get it scheduled. Yay. I'm not trying to push you. I'm just trying to help you understand that it really was the best decision I ever made. I really could not explain to you the difference. The other day, I was so tired. I went to go lay down and then I was so heartbroken that my bed was naked because I was washing the clothes and all I wanted to do was go lay down. And I took a picture of the bed and I posted it and I talked about how, my bed was naked, all this stuff. And then I realized there's a giant blood stain on my side of the bed on the mattress protector because I was bleeding so much all the time that I would bleed through everything, even on my mattress protector. And that just, it kind of slapped me in the face, right? Like into the reality of what my life is now compared to what it was then. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. And I need a new mattress protector. I'm going to buy one because it looks ugly. I mean, it's under the sheets. You don't see it, but still, I don't care. It's gross. It's gross looking. So Nia says, thank you, ladies, for sharing. Continue blessing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so thankful for all of you for coming and for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. Please remember to like the live on your way out. We appreciate it. Also, Amiga, if you're here, post the link. If not, I will post the community link, but you can also find it on Felicia's channel because first chapter book club is today in like 19 minutes. Oh no, I lost them. I don't know what I touched and it went all the way back up. So yes, Let Them is such a great book. It's so great. Aw, thank you so much, Sunshine. Jen says, I'm ready for the shindig. I'm just a bad planner. Okay, well, I'll do the planning because I'm good at that. And we will make it. Oh, I'm so glad, Harji. Aw, sending the party vibes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I really, truly cannot explain to you how much it means to me that you guys are so generous with your time and your own stories. I mean, you don't have to share your lives with us, and you do. I share my life with you because I chose to put it here, but you didn't choose to put your story here, and you're choosing to share it anyways. And that just is so touching to me. It means so much to me, and I'm just so thankful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope to see some of you, all of you, over on Felicia's channel for the first chapter of book club. And then the next chapter will be on this channel next week. And we're going to go back and forth every week. She'll do one chapter, I'll do one chapter. And at the end, we hope to be able to do a panel together for an overview of the book once it's over. So please remember, you do not have to have your own book, but if you want to have your own book, you do not have to pay out of pocket. You can go to your library app. Your city library possibly has a library app. Mine uses Libby. So you just download the Libby app and you get your library card and you enter in your card number. And then if your library has that book in their digital library, you can borrow it and you can read the physical copy or you can listen to the audiobook, but we will go over it together during our chapter, so when we talk about it. So you do not have to read it on your own, but you can if you want to. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much, Sunshine. Thanks for creating a safe space for us. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys are willing to participate, because I can sit here and talk to myself all day long, but you guys make it worth it. So thank you all so very much. And I will see you soon. Bye.